Welcome back, everybody. This is Cosmic Goose, and I just dropped a piece of paper and I'm going to completely ignore it. In the last part, we figured out the mystery of the ghost in the place that was Popolta Harbor Seaside Hotel. And I actually didn't mention this, but the guy running the shop there, or the guy running the hotel, is actually another one of my favorite characters because, and I believe he is in Secret of Mana, and I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but you actually get an encyclopedia. There are books in this game. I never mentioned that. I will probably show it off eventually. But anyway, most people have a couple sentences about who they are and what they do. His is just insert his name here, is everywhere, doing everything at every time, because he is basically the only shopkeeper in the entire game, with the exception of very few people. But here we are in Lumina. We are going to be tackling another quest that is kind of annoying. As you can see, there are Imperial soldiers around here, still investigating the sea hag that destroyed the Imperial ship. I don't know if this was obvious or not, but sea hag is another term for siren, and we know of one siren. Her name just so happens to be Monique, and she is a lamp seller here in Lumina, and the Imperial soldiers are looking for her because she must be tried for her no, that's not how I want to say that. She must be put on trial for her crimes of murder, basically. So we want to go to her shop. I believe I actually have my little cheat sheet out because I know I'm going to miss a few steps, and if I don't go... Shopkeeper isn't here. Now we know for sure that it was her! She's the murderer! Anyway, if I don't do the right steps, I'm going to get myself lost, and this quest, which is relatively short, will end up taking days. Literal days. So, since we haven't found her here, our only choice is to go to Popolta Harbor. Hopefully we will get lucky and find the lady, Monique. And we will capture her and maybe get a giant bounty for capturing the murderous, vile lady that is, you know, the cute lamp maker that sang a song and murdered people. So yeah, not a whole lot to say. We've already been here before. Look at that guy doing his little dance. I'll have to look up his name at some point. Oh, hey, look at who it is. I came to see my friend Elle, but I can't find her. Hey, there she is! The one that shank our mates' faces in the showers in prison. She's a siren, alright. It must be her. Excuse me, I presume you have the wrong person. Yes, I'm a siren, but I haven't been here for a while. A ship has sunk? What has happened here lately? That is a mouthful. Hey, what are you guys doing over there, huh? What do you mean? We found the siren who shank our ship. Shank our ship! Captain. Siren, we found one already. You got one? So, what? I'm not getting the reward? That's right. Punishing one siren will do. Oh my goodness, you guys are assholes. Doesn't matter who dies as long as it's, you know, one person that will pay for the entirety of... It's awful. It's awful and silly. But let's see if there's anything happening over here that I want to worry about. Talk to the penguin. Where is seafaring privateers? Arr, and you're in my way. Looks like no. Oh. Sorry for that quick pause. I was reading what I was supposed to be doing next, because I'm prone to forgetting. And I really should have read before I went on this quest. But you know what? I felt like recording a little bit more. It's still part of the same session as before. We do not want to leave the world map right now. We want to go to over here and ignore all the people in our way and head up to the beach, because there should be some Imperial soldiers who will tell us where they took the sirens. There's a boink over there, so no one will reach her. It'll be great. So that siren will wither and die. Looks like she will be hated. We will be hated. Blah blah blah. We always win as long as we chase them to dry land. They'd better not know not to. God damn it! I just completely made a mess of that. Basically, they trapped her on land. No one will be able to get to her because there's a boink blocking the path. And they're excited because they're getting revenge, even though that's not the right way to do it. And I mean, you can't look at everything as it's black and white. There's two sides to every story. I mean, she did murder people, but I mean, it's in a siren's nature to sing their songs, and this isn't, Greek mythology where sirens are just plain evil. We've dealt with her before, or we've dealt with one of them before, and they're not all completely malicious beings. But we want to go to, well, we're already at Medora Beach. We want to go to Medora Beach, in case you couldn't pick up on that, and figure out what they were talking about. Go see if we can help out in any way, because that's what we do. We're a good person. Why am I... What happened? I can't move. That sucked. God damn it, you pieces of shit. Fucking TDs. More like DDs, because you're always in my lab ruining my stuff. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, but if we came... No, I keep getting ahead of myself. I'll explain that. I'll burn that bridge when we come to it. But for now, we will just murder chocobos, because that's what we do. I don't know why chocobos are enemies. Usually Square doesn't let that sort of thing happen, because everybody loves chocobos. If you don't love chocobos, you're not a real person. Fact of the day for you. And we still have yet to learn our last special technique. I kind of hope that it happens soon. But at the same rate, I don't, because I know if it does happen soon, in the next part I will just be going over how to... What is with me getting stuck in loops and being unable to just die? Come on! You know what? We're gonna murder you. Because you're being a piece of shit. And I hate you, and... Did I just miss? How did that happen? I didn't even know that you could miss that on regular enemies. Hey look, the last special technique. We're gonna ignore that for now. In the next part I will go over... Actually, maybe I might save it for the part after the next part, because the next part is going to be the conclusion to the Lark and Sierra questline. And that will be very, extremely, incredibly long. Probably about the same length, if not longer, than to the other one with Matilda and Escad Dana, who we have completely forgotten about. To be honest, I kind of forgot that they were people that we dealt with. That has a tendency to happen, which is why I like the third and final quest line that comes up. God damn it! I need to stop doubting myself. Scissors! Yay! I should not be running, we just picked up scissors. But we clearly went the wrong way, but we got a pair of scissors out of it, so at least there's that. So it turns out we did want to go this way. And kill the Sea Jacks. I think that's what they're called. Yep. And again, I'm getting destroyed. I don't even... Oh, this is bizarre. I don't like this feeling. It's making me uneasy. I don't usually have this much difficulty fighting regular enemies. But they keep just getting me in good spots, I guess. Good spots for them, not so much for me. because obviously you don't want to get murdered. That's probably the last thing on your list of things to do. However, I don't know, some people might want to get murdered. I feel like if you're going to die, being murdered might be a fun way to go. But the boink that they were talking about is getting moved out of the way by the siren, which is the thing that I was trying to avoid mentioning earlier, because we are at the Birdcage Lighthouse, which is a very beautiful place. I like the aesthetic appeal of it. This is surprising. So it was you who in the soldier's cup. Yes, I was the one who sank the ship. Poor Elle, she just sang a song and their voices bring more misfortune. But if your ships don't sink, loose lips sink ships. It applies specifically to siren singing songs. And I should stop saying S sounds because it sounds silly. Stop it! Stop! Yeah, it's not working. And the two are discussing why it's not good to stay inside. And she's imprisoning herself, and you shouldn't be stopped doing what you're doing, which I personally agree with. Fuck the soldiers. They don't, well, taken out of context, that sounds bad. Obviously, soldiers are doing important things, but you also shouldn't stifle what someone else wants to do, because that's bad. And we want to go inside the birdcage, because there's a monster there that is being a douche, but we have this chick in our way. I won't let her out, it's too dangerous with all the soldiers. I can't let a friend face danger like that. Flamsheet, please, that person could protect Elle for us. Yeah, right, this world has too many dangerous people. Bitch, believe me, I am one of those dangerous people, but when I'm on your side, it's a good thing. And she still refuses to let us through. You're so stubborn, just don't get too much sun. So if we pretend like we're walking away, you will see her disappear, and that is your brief moment to try and sprint inside the Birdcage Lighthouse, where death awaits us. Recognize that figure up there? This boss is the exact same fight as the one in the Ulcan Mine. This guy is named Tropicalo. Very clever. The major difference is that this arena is significantly smaller, so that explosion will probably hit you at least once, and it is much more devastating than it was because it is a much higher level, as you would expect, because this is later in the game, and your special techniques really won't help that much, so I probably won't be using them all that much. But you just want to get it down and then run like hell. It's probably much more beneficial to ignore the second hand while you're trying your hardest not to get blown up. But other than that, it's really not much more difficult. It's just you have to be more aware of your surroundings. So if you're not good at being aware of your surroundings, you might have difficulty, but if you are aware of being around your surroundings, which isn't a phrase that makes sense, you will... I don't even remember where I left that statement off on, but you understand. I'm sure you've figured out by now what it is that you want to do. As you can see, it's not hard, it's just tedious, and I have not adjusted my seating position at all. I'm currently hunched over in my chair, and it is killing my back, so I think I will probably take a break after this recording session. This is actually still part of the same recording section as the last two episodes. Get down here, please. Oh dear. Oh dear, we're gonna get blown up. Boom. Almost done. I think one more round might do it. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that one. Or do. One more round will do it. Cosmogustin 2013. Let your friends know that I said that. It's the hip thing to do. It is possible to hit that hand, but realistically you don't really need to. I mean, I did move him out of the way a little bit, but where I was standing was perfectly fine. And it's almost over. Looking at it now, I think he might drop down one more hand. Because I don't think these two will do it, but we'll see. No, there's another one. And we should... Oh, I guess we're not. I guess... For those of you who did quote me on that, you didn't do a good job because I was wrong. And I'm sorry to have let you down. I'm like Alfred at the end of Dark Knight Rises. You trusted me, and I failed you. I failed you. That is a terrible Michael Caine impression. But anyway, the boss is done, and we are rewarded with a scene between Elle and I'm not sure what the... No, Flamshy, yeah. I was getting her confused with the sexy dancer lady that we saw in the last part. And Monique. But anyway. Hello, Elle, how are you doing? Hello! That's not a proper answer to that question, I think. Thanks, but I don't want to. I'm such a coward. That's okay. You can be a coward. But from now on, you can go outside anytime you want. You can stay here and sing, too. You're free now. Thanks. You're welcome. Geez, can't you sound a little happier than that? Yeah, a little more appreciative of the person who just saved your life and gave you freedom? I am the fucking great emancipator here. I would not go that far. I kind of regret saying that almost as immediately as I said it. And when we return home, we might be stopped by a scene. And if that is the case, we will do 2 quests. But if we are not, we will only be doing 1. However, it usually happens around this time. So we will see in just a moment. Yep. Is he okay? Is he dying? Don't worry, he was only chosen. Now he's going to the spiritual world to become a part of a big tree. A big tree? Yep. We plants are all connected at our roots. We might look like separate beings, but we are one plant in our real dimension. You're one plant? We belong to one tree. What about me? You too! Hooray! If plants join the big tree in the spiritual dimension, that tree will revive in this world too. Oh! And he just runs off like the adorable little cactus that he is. So we're going to completely ignore that Spratling right now. If the other Spratlings were correct, he is mostly fine anyway. And we want to talk to our cactus about the quest that we just went on. Happy? I don't really think so. I mean, she's still kind of stuck in her cage there like a wild animal. And she doesn't want to go outside because she's too afraid of hurting people. So now let's investigate what that Sproutling had to say. As you can see, there is a trail of leaves and the Cage of Dreams. Probably the second most important quest in the game. So the Trail of Leaves is leading to our workshop. And we have 2 people we have never met before. I cannot do that! We have no use for the mana tree. Bring back the Sproutling you hid. He was supposed to rise to become the spiritual world, become the mana tree, become... Oh, please help me. This man trapped a Sproutling in a dream with dimensional magic. Now the Sproutling won't be able to become the mana tree. Sproutlings should remain as they are, and they shouldn't become the mana tree. I have lived long enough to see many catastrophic events occur over the tree's power. Has mankind ever used the tree's powers for a noble cause? Not once. We must eliminate the sources of quarrels. Peace is what we need. And he will start crying, and obviously these 2 are having a very ethical debate about the return of the mana tree. So let's completely ignore them and go outside and be greeted by our good friend Pokehell. I'm going to have a chat with Nunizak now. Would you like to join us? No, but we will because it's important for progress. Hello, Nunizak. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Sir Pokehell. I am awestruck by the fact that you would come to this person's home and invade his workshop and make a floating ghosty thing cry. We have proven that we can live without the tree's powers, even if it's the wisdom choice I will not obey. This guy is a very arrogant asshole. The mana tree now, blessing to our lives, blah blah blah, blessings. Nunizak, but some will harm and take the possessions of others that feel bliss, of tranquility, one soul not desire anything. We will be better off without the mana tree in our lives. Nunizak, the world is only a part of the vast universe. Mana tree is... So these 2 are just basically arguing over the fact that the mana tree is good and evil, which we have talked about in the beginning of the game. People used the mana tree's powers for evil, and Unuzak is refusing to let that happen again. Bokuhel realizes that even though there's lots of evil in the world and people do terrible things, it is more important that we give people a chance. Villains like the Deathbringer, you remember that guy? Are going to be coming for the mana tree, and think the tree is evil versus the tree is good. How can you think the gods created this world for only suffering? Our very existence's behavior is foolish. If that's what you believe, then that is how it will be, and you will walk away, and he is an old-timer and supreme power and wisdom. I'll trust you to believe to do stuff and blah 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 plot development. So Bokuhel walks away, believing that Unuzak will just let the world die, and we will talk to him, and for what do the world and our lives exist, and we will be teleported into the land where he is trapped. The Sproutling, the Thorn of Hope, looks a little bit like pretty much every dungeon in the game we have been to so far. But this is one of the most important quests in the game, second most important quest in the game actually, because we will actually be unveiling the mana tree, sort of. Don't get your hopes too high. We still have a long way to go. We actually just barely passed the halfway mark not too long ago. So we still have a lot of quests left, or a lot of game left. But yeah, and this whole, I kind of like the plot of this game where, you know, you have this powerful gift that people will always use to exploit, and you know, it's a thing that people do. I mean, there's evil in the world, that's a fact, but you shouldn't let all the evil spoil the benefits that can be offered at the same time. You have to take the good, the bad, and there you have the facts of life. And the fact of life being that some people suck, most people are awesome, and you have to let awesome people do awesome things to counteract the bad that people do. Although, that being said, you can also argue that, you know, one bad seed ruins the crop, or whatever the expression is, where if you're, say, in a classroom or something and someone throws a pen at the teacher, your class is no longer allowed to have pens. And I mean, to a certain extent, that's true, but really, you shouldn't punish good people for something that bad people did. It's just not fair, and Unuzak is being completely not fair by trapping the Sproutling that was chosen to be here. Ow, ugh. Huh? Where am I? I have to go heal the mana tree. It's our job to focus the lava on the mana tree's wounds. Nicolaji, take this sword, close your eyes, and imagine. You get a sword of mana! Which I believe is also a reference to Secret of Mana. Like I said a couple times now, I have not actually played the game, so I can't comment too much. However, I do know that the Sword of Mana is an important artifact from that game, I believe, and the Sword of Mana is, if you couldn't figure it out on your own, the artifact that will give us the mana tree. Now, unfortunately, I will hold off saving the world for a brief moment because we have other quests to do, like I have already mentioned, and we need to talk to our cactus, and then we need to end this episode, and I need to sit literally anywhere else because I am actually starting to develop a very serious back pain. Talk to him, little Sproutlings, blah blah blah. And actually now we have 3 Sproutlings outside, so if you thought one was annoying, you now have to run through 3 of them. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. In the next part, we are going to finish up the Lark and Sierra questline, like I mentioned, and expect it to be a long one. I hope you enjoy it. And if you like this part, please hit the like button. And if you want to keep watching me do quests and watch me finish off the Lark and Sierra questline, I would recommend subscribing. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, and have an excellent day, or afternoon, or evening.